Well, due to the transient nature of minor league baseball, we see new faces all the time. But every Monday, we see this beautiful face. Matt Melzak is here to talk about the Mud Hens. And Matt, we got a perfect example of this just this couple days ago when the Tigers organization acquired Joe Rizzo from the Marlins and signed him to Toledo. 12 hours later, he's hitting a walk-off home run.
Yeah, and it never hit a walk-off home run in his entire career. So, you know, good for him. He pops into the lineup. He's got nice energy with him. Talked to him after the game on Saturday. Just a very positive guy. And I know he was struggling in Jacksonville, and he even said that, like, you know, sometimes it's kind of nice to just get a new backdrop and a new look. And he certainly did that. Had a double earlier in the game, had a great defensive play in the top of the ninth inning, and then boom, he hits that walk-off homer, and everybody loves him. They're all like, Joe Rizzo, here he is. Love it.
And we're seeing some other familiar faces coming through Toledo. Kerry Carpenter made a pit stop earlier this week. We saw Vierling, saw Matt Manning start on Sunday. So as the Tigers are getting healthier, we're going to see some of those Tigers faces down with Toledo before they make that stop up back to Detroit.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, and we already saw that with Tyler Nevin back in a Hens uniform on Sunday. Even though the game didn't go Toledo's way, he had 3 hits in a game. So, you know, you start to get those pieces back into the lineup a little bit more. I mean, when they can get Skubal back and Manning back, and you're talking about Vierling getting back in there. Now all of a sudden you're getting healthy on that pitching side. You're getting some bodies back offensively. It's going to help them go a little more, and it's going to help the Hens go a little bit more too, because frankly, they've had the same problem Detroit's had, and that's scoring a lot of runs. And when Detroit did score a lot of runs on Sunday, they blew the lead late. But, you know, Toledo's had some better run production this past week against Buffalo, but yet on Sunday they didn't get that. So, you know, it's been kind of the same problem a little bit, and it does filter down all the way through the organization.
And we saw Tarek Skubal in town doing a bullpen session, so he might get a rehab start with the Hens as well.
Did pitch this weekend in West Michigan, so, you know, they're moving these guys along. Matt Manning, I thought his stuff in certain spots was pretty sharp, and then obviously, you know, he was on such a low pitch count because it's his first rehab start, but you could see him throwing the way, you know Matt Manning can. His fastball velocity was pretty good. His off-speed stuff was pretty sharp. So as he starts to just build back up condition-wise to get ready for the big leagues, I think we'll see him maybe even next week when we're back home.
Yeah, gave up a couple of hits in those first 2 innings, but most importantly, didn't give up any runs. And as Brian Bucky, our colleague from the Blade, pointed out on Monday, we might be seeing Riley Green coming through Toledo on a rehab assignment. There's some guys in Erie that might be working their way up to Toledo now, too.
You know what? We talked about that on our pregame show a couple of days ago. I think it was Saturday, where we went through, you know, some of the guys that are doing some good things down in Erie. Of course, all the talk right now is on Cole Keith. He was a player of the month in the AA ranks for, you know, the month of May. He's been tearing the cover off of the ball. You know, the question is, do we see him for a little bit and then he's up in Detroit? Does he skip right over Toledo? Who knows? You know, it depends on what the Tigers are thinking there. But I think we'll see him here at some point this summer. And guys like Ty Madden we could see later on this summer. So there's some guys that are doing some things at Erie that it's possible we could see them jumping up. If you look at the way the Tigers have done the last couple of years, it's different with Scott Harris running the show there in Detroit. But if you look, usually when we hit around the All-Star break, they start thinking about moving guys up and giving them a new challenge.
So the Mud Hens on the road this week as they head to Lehigh Valley, 2-4 against Buffalo. Now they take on the Iron Pigs.
Yeah, they do, and a good Lehigh Valley team, you know, top affiliate of the Philadelphia Phillies. So that'll be an interesting task this week for the Toledo Mud Hens. And this is a team struggled the last time they were on the road, so let's see if they can turn it around this week. And it's going to depend on, you know, how they pitch a little bit and if they can keep a good offense down in that hitter's park.
All right, looking forward to seeing the Hens on the road for this week, and then they're back home downtown. I want to thank our guest tonight, Matt Melzak from those little Mud Hens. Matt, thank you so much.
All right, always a pleasure there, Mark.